We're just gonna start in this Z guard, right? So this is one of the most common positions you'll end up in any kind of no-gi situation. It may be a full Z guard. I might have my knee through, and it might be, you know, a quarter Z, but you'll be in some version of this, like a lot. This happens all the time where you get to here, right? So the hard part is dealing with this shield. And if he knows how to play it, you know, it can be a real nuisance. A lot of people don't know how to play it. They just kind of throw it up and it's not really in my way at all, and I can just kind of scoot around it, you know. But someone who really knows how to play it, he'll start framing and getting in tight, and now it's a lot harder to deal with this, you know, this position, right? You know, so first we're going to talk about going through the shield and how to kind of break the shield down if we want to, and there's a couple ways to do that. Then we'll talk about going around it. Then we'll talk about actually attacking it, right? So if I want to go through it and smash it, I can do it a couple of different ways. The first way that I'm going to do it is by using my arms. So this works really well if his feet are not crossed. So if he starts crossing his feet and locking this in, this is a different deal, because now I can't get through and get to what I want to do for this first one. But if his feet are not crossed, I can simply come through here and I can get control of this leg, right? And we can get to here. Once I get this control, what I want to look to do is I want to start looking to get like head control if I can. So I'm going to lean in on this and I'm going to come over the top and get control here. Now that I have this, I'm just going to slide down to his foot, and we're here. And we're going to do what's called the Lucas Leopard pass. So I'm pushing this as I turn my hips to clear the knee, and then I can pass around and get to my side control. All right. So again, we're playing this. He's in tight. He's doing his thing. You know, he's keeping me here. I can't just twist or pass because he's keeping good frames doing this here. You know, so if he has poor frames, then we just go around it and hit our twister pass. But if he's got good frames, I can't deal with that. Right? So I'm looking, if he doesn't have this control, I'm coming through and I'm just bringing this hand up on top of his thigh. You know, he's already not going to like this, and I can start turning his hip a little bit, and that usually allows me to grab his head and pull his head in. Once he's bent like this, he's no longer strong. He's going to be fighting to try to get his posture back, which is great, because as he does, I can pass that. Right? So I'm just dropping my left hip to the mat, opening this up, and now I can step around, and I can go to my side control. Does that make sense? Can you see it again?
I'd like to see it.
Yep. So we're here. Yep, he's playing tight. So I'm just coming under, connecting to his thigh, lifting this here, and I'm looking to get control of his head. Once I get control of his head, I'm sliding towards his foot. If I can grab his foot, even better. And then I'm just dropping my left hip as I push his knee out. And then I can step around and I can come back to my side control. All right, cool, let's play with it. 3, 2, 1. And they keep that knee just glued to that hip, and you're just, everywhere you go, you're like, oh man, like what am I gonna do with this, right? So I can come under, scoop that, and start, you know, opening that up. You can I use your Jesus, because you'll do this naturally. A lot of times when you first get here, like he knows this is not a great spot, so he'll start trying to get his way out and get back to his guard. So like make your space and get back, right? He'll do this, right? So if I feel him starting to make that distance, I just connect my hands and I turn his knee to the mat, right? And now I have a little bit of a calf slicer here, but at the very least I can start looking to take his back. Right? So if you feel him trying to run away from that scoop grip pressure, I just drive it further, and then I come up and look for the back take. Right? Cool. All right. So the next that we're going to play with to kind of smash it is just our basic heavy knee slice. But I like to go back over this just because I still see people doing this wrong. And go over a couple little details of it. Won't take very long with this one because most of us have done it before, and then we'll move on to going around it. So So in this case, we're playing here, we're playing this tight. All I'm looking to do is get my knee through. So a lot of times, like I can lean into this, pop back, and then I can bring my knee through. And it's kind of hard for him to stop me from doing that. Once I get my knee on top, I'm dropping this hand to the mat so I can start to lean my weight on top of his knee. When he plays this low shield, it really allows for me to do this. If he's playing a high shield, this is not what I'm gonna do, right? So again, we're playing off of this low shield position. When he plays low shield, I wanna smash it. When he plays high shield, I wanna move it, all right? So when we're here, my left leg is out for base. I'm gonna take my right knee and I try to touch it to my left heel. As I do that, I lean so that now I'm smashing his knee to the mat. It's important I get his knee all the way to the mat, because if his knee is up at all, he can bring his other leg back through and get his guard back. So I have to smash it so that he can't get that back. Once I get here, I'm looking for his wrist, and I wanna open this up so that that space between his knee and his elbow is open for me to get through. I slide around, and now I'm gonna back my hips up to flatten him out, right? Everybody tries to go to side control super fast here. I wanna flatten him first and then come to my side control. If I leave him, come back to your side. If I leave him on his side and I go to turn to my knees, he's just gonna bring his knee in. And I did all that work to end up back in guard, all right? So again, we're here, we're playing this game. I just come back a little bit and bring my knee through. So I go back to go forward, right? Hand goes to the mat, foot comes out. I'm leaning, taking my knee, touching it to my heel. That drops his knee to the mat. Now I'm gonna slide around as I pin his wrist to open that space up, and I back my hips up to flatten him out. Now I can go to side control. Right? Let's do it. 3, 2, 1. If that knee is up against my hip, it's a good time to smash. The only time that's not true is if when he's playing this against my hip, he's extending these legs and he's playing like this. If he's playing like this, now it's gonna be real hard for me to smash, get my knee through, do any of that. So if he's playing like this, then we're going to go around this. And this is where that twister pass comes in, right? So if he's pushing and he's here, like all I'm gonna do is take this knee, drop it right next to his hips as I reach across, and then I'm back stepping through, right? If he catches my leg, I walk my foot up to where my knee's pointing to the ceiling, and I take my elbow, not my hand, because if I take my hand, he can grab my elbow. Right? So I use my elbow and I push this down, and then I can start playing with this or whatever to back step out and get past his guard, right? So again, we're here. This time he's pushing and he's trying to maintain all of this distance. So now like I can't get any of this going. So now I'm just gonna step up, kind of lean into it a little bit, get him to push a little harder. And I'm gonna take this knee, drop it right to his hip as I reach across and land here. Sometimes I can backstep immediately. Sometimes I don't want to because I want to attack his leg and do stuff here, but it allows me then to pass. Does that make sense? All right, let's play with that for just a minute. 3, 2, 1.